Hey, Shalom, it's the brother Abaya here. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Hakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the minute I learned the truth from. And Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Sirach, chapter 13, verse 1. It says, He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that have fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. Let's get pitch. Let's get the meaning of pitch. I pulled it up. All right, in AI Google. Let's get some back history. All right. In Sirach chapter 13, the reference to pitch or tar in modern translations is a metaphor used to convey a practical wisdom about the dangers of associating with wicked, proud, or powerful people. Right? It's going down, it says, here is what the metaphor means. Physical contamination, pitch, or tar is a thick, dark, and sticky substance that was used in ancient times for waterproofing vessels as a cement in building. If you touch it, it sticks to you and is very difficult to get off. Your hand becomes blackened or defiled. So basically, like, you become dirty, right? Filthy in the sight of the Lord, defiled, right? It says the physical moral contamination. It says the physical property of pitch is used as an analogy for the moral contamination that occurs when one keeps bad company. Associating with arrogant, scoundrelly, or wicked people means that their negative qualities, behaviors, or attitudes will stick to you and corrupt your own character. Wow. It says the passage is a practical warning similar to the modern expression that bad company corrupts good character. Wow. You got to watch the company you keep. All right. So he that toucheth a pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that have fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. Proud individuals, man, they don't like to be talked to a certain way. They don't like to be looked at a certain way. They don't like to be perceived a certain way. The moment they feel like they're being perceived or talked to or addressed in a manner that they don't like, they're going to react according to however their emotions sway them to act, whether that be with violence, whether that be with hastiness or impatience or, irrational behavior. It's going to lead them to the destruction, right? The scriptures say pride goes before destruction. So if you hanging with individuals like that, then your destruction is at hand too. You going and proud people, they fall into sin. So you automatically you're going to be defiled in the sight of the Lord, right? By corruption, you're going to be corrupted by these individuals. Verse 2, it says, burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken. Yeah, burden not thyself above thy power. Keep not fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. And the carnal guy would be like, man, you should want to keep company with rich people. Somebody mightier than yourself. Well, let's go into why it says that. Let's see what the AI let's see what the AI has to say about that. It's Sirach, chapter 13, verse 2. Let's see. It says in Sirach, chapter 13, verse 2, Ben Sura uses two powerful metaphors to warn against seeking social or financial equality with those much power than yourself. The verse typically reads, "Do not lift a weight too heavy for you or associate with one mightier and richer than you. How can the clay pot associate with the iron kettle? The pot will strike against it and be smashed." Ooh. Key meanings: the heavy weight. This is a metaphor for taking on social or financial burdens beyond your capacity. Trying to keep up with the lifestyle or influence of the elite can lead to exhaustion, debt, or personal injury. That's true. The clay and iron kettle. This imagery illustrates the clash of social classes. Fragility versus strength. You, the clay pot, are fragile compared to the wealthy and powerful, the iron kettle. Inevitable damage. If a clay pot and an iron kettle are placed together, especially in the current of life, they will eventually collide. In such a collision, the iron kettle remains unharmed while the clay pot is shattered. Yeah, and that's you try to usurp authority over someone with more wealth than you or more power than you, and you find yourself getting trampled down. They have resources and connections that can cause you to get imprisoned, cause your image to be tarnished, and just destroy your life. So yeah, you don't want to collide or try to keep up with people that are mightier than you in this life. Just know where just know who you are, your existence. The lot that you've been given. Don't seek above thy strength. All right, verse 3 says, "The rich man have done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also." Yeah, so if a rich man do something wrong, he'll still, he won't say sorry. He won't regret what he did. Actually, he'll still condemn other motherfuckers. All right. But if the poor is done wrong, not only is he done wrong, but he has to, still, beg for forgiveness and beg for help and, come off, as a positive way to receive help. As the rich man is rich, so he don't feels the need to trim his ways to other people, because at the end of the day, he has everything that he wants. It's the people under him that wants what he has, right? Verse 4, it says, "If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee." And yes, that goes with anybody in this world. If they can't get a profit from you, they don't see any type of benefit from you. As far, they're not going to deal with you. They're not going to help you, if you need help. All right. Verse 5, "If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it." And you really can apply this to these women too. Like, if you got a lot of money, you got a nice place where you live, a nice dwelling place, they'll chill with you, take everything you got, and then will leave you dry and will not be sorry for it. All right. Verse 6, it says, "If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and will smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, What wantest thou? And he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. And at the last he will laugh thee to scorn afterward. When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee." And you can apply that to these people that get into these deals, contracts. Don't matter what type of industry of the entertainment world, but they get into these contracts with these guys. And then once the guy, uses them, casts them away, they're left in shame. You see these people on drugs. You see these people on the streets. You got this guy, Delonte West. Here it is. This guy was in the NBA, and now he just left destitute in the streets. NBA got all type of organizations. The NBA makes billions of dollars. They could have got that guy the proper help and set him up. But they don't give a fuck about you once they can't get anything from you. They can't use you for their entertainment no more. All right. Let's see. Verse 8. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down in thy jollity. What is that word, jollity? Mirth, high spirits. Yeah, so when you're doing well, you high spirited. Verse 9, it says, if thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more will he invite thee. Yeah, he starts showing you all the nice things he has, the cars, the women, houses. You want to be around them. Nah, nigga. Something else comes with that. So try to keep your distance from that. Don't be too enticed by the flesh. Verse 10, it says, press thou not upon him, lest thou be put back. Stand not far off, lest thou be forgotten. Affect not to be made equal unto him in talk, and believe not his many words, for with much communication will he tempt thee, and smiling upon thee will get out thy secrets. So deal with wisdom. Like the scripture say, use the world, but don't abuse the world. There's a way you can use a rich man that's willing to deal with you and still not become defiled, corrupted, and enticed and fooled by his words and riches, all right? Verse 12, it says, but cruelly he will lay up thy words and will not spare to do thee hurt and to put thee in prison. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awaken thy sleep. Love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and man will cleave to his like. So what is this shit about in America where they talk about, oh, everybody needs to get along, and everybody not getting along? There's division every goddamn where. Because at the end of the day, you're going to cleave to the people that you look like, that like the shit you like, that, that's into the things you into. How the fuck you going to have solidarity and a true community amongst different nationalities and ideologies? That doesn't fucking make sense. We praying to different gods. We eat different foods. We have different customs, but you still want us to, work around each other, go to school around each other, and live life and think it's going to be peaceful? No, man, you got war all over the goddamn place, just in America. Civil unrest, upheavals. And it's going to continue to be like that until this place is destroyed. It makes sense. A man will cleave to his like. And it even goes deep into that. You can be of the same nation, but you got wicked niggas that cleave to wicked niggas. Bible thumping niggas that cleave to Bible thumping niggas. So it's, unless everybody's on one accord, you're not going to have a kingdom of peace. Verse 17, it says, what fellowship have the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? See, it goes to my point. Wicked niggas going to cleave with wicked niggas. YNs, when they doing these drills and these drive-bys and shooting up these neighborhoods, it's niggas, all right? It's Ray Rays and Tay Tays that like listening to NBA Youngboy, that like smoking blunts, that like, doing wild shit. They like death. So they commit death and murder. They cleave unto their like. Verse 18. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? Yeah, how the fuck can you expect the rich to give a fuck about the poor? Not the same. They don't live the same life. They don't have the same experiences. If you're a rich individual, you don't even know what the fuck is going on in the average man's life. Middle class man's life. Definitely not even the poor. They don't even understand what's going on in the middle class. How the fuck would they even know what's going on with the poor? Yeah, they may see homeless people every now and then. They may drive and they blacked out vehicles. But for the most part, they're not around these areas where they, even got to see this type of shit. They off in countries you never heard of. They off in lands you never knew existed. You know what I'm saying? They eating foods you didn't know exist. They breathing air that you didn't even know could be so clean. They drinking water that you didn't know could be so clean. A whole different type of living, man. Verse uh verse 19. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. As the proud hate humility, so does the rich abhor the poor. Yeah. So you got prideful individuals that hate to be humiliated, that hate to be meek in front of other people. All right. Same as the rich. They don't even want to know about what's going on with the poor because they don't want to even know that type of life exists. They just want to live in their lavish, ignorant way of living. That's why when destruction comes upon the rich, it comes as a thief in the night. Because they're not even keeping in tune with what the fuck's going on. Now, the elites of the elites, of course, they know what the fuck going on because they're the ones creating the shit. The Lord uses them as his sword, but you got a lot of rich people that's just rich and, just living their life and don't even know what the fuck goes on in the average world. Verse 21. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. We see that all the time. Well, you got Prince, what's the Prince, that was in the Epstein pictures and shit. And they say they stripped away his title and all. Man, that nigga is still living the same lavish life. Partaking in the same lavish things. They just did that for media to appease the minds of you simpletons. So what if they put in the newspaper, he got stripped of his title. And it's right, that nigga ain't got stripped of shit. He still at the family dinners and doing what the fuck he want to do. Probably he's still fucking kids. Anyways, verse 22. When a rich man is fallen, he have many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. Yeah, so he'll fall and be speaking prideful, and men will still find a way to justify him. We see this all the fucking time, especially with Edomites. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spoke wisely and could have no place. So we can't expect, especially as these times come ahead with persecution and AI and deep fake and, people coming against us and the message and the word that we speak, the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that we speak. We can't expect them to come to our aid. We don't have shit. They don't give a fuck about us. We have no power in this world. We have power in the spirit, but to the carnal individual, we don't have no power. Verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Yep. Verse 24, riches are good unto him that have no sin, and poverty is evil in the mouth of the ungodly. The heart of a man changeth his countenance, whether it be for good or evil, and a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. A cheerful countenance is a token of a heart that is in prosperity, and the finding out of parables is a wearisome labor of the mind. Yeah. So you can't expect prosperity, a whole bunch of prosperity when you're in captivity. Those two don't go hand in hand. Now you can live a somewhat stable life if you live your life according to wisdom in the way that the scriptures tell you to handle things, but you shouldn't seek a rich man's life